again, and welcome to another edition of Offsite Retail Week. Paul Schrimpf here, joined by Eric Sfiligoj in our remote, highly classified locations here in Cleveland, Ohio.
I think people could find me if they chose to, Paul. I just don't think anybody's that motivated. But all right, fine. If you're in the bunker for real, fine.
That's fine. I'm personally going to go with I'm hiding because I really think people probably want to find me. Maybe not. I don't know. Anyway, so we got our 30 seconds of spring last week, and now we're right into summer. So it's hotter than heck here. It's for us. It's it's over 80. So it's a little toasty. I am not blessed with air conditioning in our old house, so I'm sweating a little bit. But it's it's getting up there. We're getting summer in a hurry.
Yeah, well, that's no. I mean, this has become the norm. I mean, we have either really, really cool wet springs like we did in 19, or we have relatively cool springs that lead right into a 80, 90 degree day summer with high humidity, and that seems to be what I don't know. Maybe we can blame that on COVID-19 too. I don't know.
Some people would do that, but. It's been interesting spring from the standpoint. It's been relatively quiet. We haven't heard from a lot of retailers because guys I think are cranking.
Yes.
We're looking forward to catching up with folks this summer with what's happening. With kind of as a summary of what happened this spring and what it looks like going into fall. I know crop prices aren't there, but it looks like production's gonna roll pretty good in a lot of areas. Well, there's been some rainy areas, certainly some rainy areas out by us. Northwest Ohio has gotten quite a bit of rain, parts of Indiana, but it seems like folks are moving pretty good.
Yeah, actually, Paul, I was just looking before we came on camera with some of the numbers for the planting update, and it looks like most crops are ahead of their averages and also where they were at this time last year as of June 1st. We got corn plantings nationwide at 93%, which is really good. Soybeans at 75% and cotton at 66%. So, the three big row crops across the country are going in the ground like they're supposed to. And it pretty much looks like everybody will be wrapped up by about June 15th with their planting. So that's, this is a far cry from last year at this time. I remember numbers were in the 60s going all the way through like people getting ready to claim their insurance. And of course, we had a lot of prevent plant acres, about 18, 19 million acres last year that never got planted at all because of the weather.
Yeah, a lot of things didn't happen last year and a lot of things aren't happening this year, but for better or for worse, they're just not happening on the event side. As we found out last week from the Illinois Fertilizer and Chemical Association that MAGIE 2020 will not be held. We talked about possibly some options as we're the media partner, and we love the conference. We love to be able to do whatever we can for those folks, and will in some capacity, but it will not be on an event. The ride and drive being really kind of the central focus of the conference. There wasn't a lot of enthusiasm for doing much beyond that. So. We're going to jump to 2021, and hopefully there'll be folks with having not had it this year, chomping at the bit to enjoy the ride and drive and the tractors and getting out to see people again. But it's just going to be a summer for us where we like we haven't had since we've been professionals here in the market, and just not really being able to go out and see folks. And a lot of phone calls, and we have a lot of really great phone calls and talking to people, and there's lots of tools to get in with folks, and between Zoom and Skype and everything else, but it's just not going to be in person like we really like to do it.
Yeah, unfortunately, I know that for myself, it's always great to see all my industry friends at events like MAGIE and InfoAg and other events that happen during the summer. And that's the time of year these folks actually have a little time on their hands. I actually get a lot of stories that story ideas that help carry me through our magazine and online coverage for the rest of the year at those events. And this year, I guess I'm just going to have to rely on a lot more email and, Zoom, Skype calls with folks to track down the same type of information if I can get it.
Yeah, you bet.
So obviously, if you have, that's my cry out there, people. If you have stuff to share, please send us news releases, little notes saying, hey, give me a call. I got something for you. And I'll be more than happy to talk. Even though Paul is sheltering in an undisclosed location, you can certainly find me pretty easily. So,
innuendo, unfounded assertions. We're all about just about anything you want to send us. As long as you put your name on it. Okay. Anything else, sir?
Yeah, the only other thing to mention, of course, is a lot of news has been going back and forth regarding the U.S. and China. They had a phase one agreement in place in January, then COVID-19 hit, and there was lots of accusations and counter accusations going back and forth between the two countries. And it sounded like, I know I saw this morning a report that they're not going to let U.S. or Chinese airlines fly into the U.S. Anytime soon. So it sounded like the whole trade deal was kind of going on the back burner and maybe would get kiboshed completely. And that was boding ill for our friends that grow soybeans. It didn't look like there was going to be any sales happening, but did find out, Paul, when I was reading today, that Chinese buyers apparently have purchased 180,000 tons of U.S. soybeans that'll be delivered in either October or November. So there seemed to be no explanation in the article I read regarding why the Chinese were still buying U.S. soybeans when apparently they've been told by their government not to, but I'm sure the U.S. growers are going to enjoy the fact that they actually have a market for some of their products.
Absolutely. Good to see. Well, it's this tit for tat seems doomed to go on for a while. It's deepening instead of getting better. So we'll just have to keep track of it and try to adjust as best as we can.
Yep. So that's all I got for this week from me. So
okay. Well, that's it for this edition of CropLife Retail Week. We appreciate you joining us every week, and we will see you again next Saturday.
If you have questions or comments about today's episode of Retail Week, contact us by email or Twitter, or type your message in the comment section below.
Your feedback is important to us. We'll try our best to address your thoughts in next week's episode.
And be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel.